we're going to look at how to solve yellow equations like this one up here. And this probably looks pretty familiar to you, but these weird fractions, they might make you a little bit nervous. No one really likes fractions. We could get out a calculator and do things like subtract 2/3 x from both sides or subtract 2/5 from both sides. But what I really want you guys to do is when you see a problem like this yellow one up here, is make it look like the orange one down here. The orange one down here, if you saw this, you probably wouldn't worry at all. And the whole idea is why this yellow problem looks funky is because of these denominators. So we're going to rely on a trick that we're going to rely on a lot throughout the course, which is when we see a problem like the one up here that we don't know how to solve, we're going to do some kind of trick to it to make it look like a problem that we do know how to solve easily. And the trick for this one is to try to get rid of these denominators. So we're going to reach way back into our 4th grade math and try to find the LCM of these denominators. So we're looking for a number that both 3 and 5 go into. That, of course, 3 and 5 both go into, I'll give you time to think, 15. So my next step is to take each part of this equation and make it 15 times bigger. Now, for the whole number, that's going to be easy enough, 15 times 4. But it may have been a while since you've multiplied fractions together. So mentally, let me draw my mental bubble cloud. This is what I'm thinking in my head. I am thinking I need to do 15 times negative 2/5 x. But what I actually ended up doing is I picked that 15 because that 15 would cancel with this 5. And when that 15 and this 5 cancel, we'll cancel the 5 out, I'm left with 3. So what I really do in my head is 3, this becomes 3, times negative 2x gives me that negative 6x. And then, of course, that 15 times this negative 4 is negative 60. Mentally, when I'm doing 15 times that 2/3 x, I picked the 15 because it would cancel this 3. When that 15 cancels this 3, I'm left with 5. So mentally, I do 5 times 2x, which gives me the 10x. And then finally, I'm going to do that 15 times 2/5. And again, I picked the 15 because it would cancel the 5, and the 15 would be 3 would be left. 3 times 2 gives me that 6. So now I've got this orange equation, which of course I'm sure you guys are very good at solving. I'm going to take this time to quickly review a couple ideas about how to solve it, but at this point, if you want to stop the tape and solve it from here, that's probably a good idea. Basically, what we want to do is get the x by itself. It's my strong recommendation that we always move the x's first and keep them positive. So if this were me, I would add 6x to both sides. So this would cancel, and this becomes 16x plus 6. This side has a negative 60 on it. Now we need to get this x by itself, so I'll subtract a 6 from both sides. So this will go away. If I subtract 6, they're friends. They make negative 66 equals 16x. And then the final step, of course, 16x equals negative 66. We'll divide both sides by 16. And I would reduce that fraction if I was entering it into Alex. I don't have a calculator on me, but they're both even numbers, so it's 33 over 8. And I don't think 33 and 8 have any common factors. So that will be our final answer. But again, the trick is like, take that fraction, find the LCM of those denominators, multiply everybody by the LCM using that cross cancellation trick to make the calculations easy, and then use all those steps that Miss Masak or Miss Levin or Mr. Smith or whoever taught you before.